Want this? Well, I got you, my friend. If you're anything like me, you prefer to have all the knowledge in one place instead of watching countless videos, doing 1,000 Google searches, experimenting yourself, and still not have a complete understanding of the topic. And no need to take notes, as I have a PowerPoint pinned in the description with a ton of slides if you ever need to refresh your knowledge. Without further ado, this is a complete guide to taking back your masculinity. Every self-improvement YouTuber talks about testosterone like it's the only important hormone, but there's a few more, which is why I like to focus on two things: androgens and estrogens. Androgen is a collection of all the male hormones, including testosterone, while estrogen is a collection of all the female hormones, aka the opposite of androgen. So if you're a man, you want to maximize your androgens while keeping your estrogen in a healthy range. Hormones are easily one of the most misunderstood and overlooked subjects in self-improvement, which is a big shame because they're easily one of the most powerful things you can optimize. They decide how tall you'll be, female attraction, how masculine you look, your mental health, and how well you perform physically. No matter how optimal your training and diet is, an athlete taking steroids, aka hormones, will always beat you. So the gym hierarchy goes something like this: hormones, training, sleep, diet. Now that you understand that hormones could literally fix 95% of your problems, let's get into it. There are so many ways to optimize your hormones, but you must master the fundamentals. Starting with an optimized diet. In short, you must focus on organic eggs, meat, fruits, and vegetables. Meat and egg providing you with the cholesterol, omegas, fat, and protein doing the heavy lifting in male hormone production. And vegetables and fruits providing you with micronutrients and carbs to aid the production. Here's my personal diet. I've optimized it. If you want, you can literally just copy it. Breakfast, I have 10 eggs. I prefer scrambled eggs, like, literally just crack them, put them in a bowl, mix them with a fork, and then put them on the pan with low heat. For lunch, I have 400 grams of beef and 600 grams of potatoes. I just buy those pre-seasoned frozen potatoes, and then I put them in the oven with the meat for 25 minutes. I'll do something else. Of course, eating the same thing for a long time can be very dull. The most important part is just getting the necessary micro and macronutrients for androgen production. So instead of eating beef and potatoes, you could do 400 grams of chicken and 600 grams of rice. The better you get at dieting, the more recipes you start to get in mind, and you can just kind of cycle between them. For dinner, I have 1 kilogram of salmon salad. My editor will put a recipe up on the screen, or you can literally just Google salmon salad recipe. For a night snack, I have 5 bananas and 6 to 12 slices of rye bread with honey. Full disclosure, I'm still experimenting with the honey and rye bread, as sugar and bread can negatively affect male hormones, but they do help with hitting my carb goal, as the diet is pretty protein and fat heavy. For a pre-workout snack, full raw lemon, ginger, and a raw onion. I just eat them raw, and then I go to the gym, then I kind of go berserk on the punching bag for 5 minutes, and then I go straight into the heavy compounds like benching, squat. And it does really sound strange to eat a lemon, ginger, and onion, but when I combine that with my training program, it has made my bench go from 100 kg to 120 kg in 1 month. Like pretty much steroid level gains. Here's like a picture of my program. The type of exercise you do is not that important, to be honest. Just like a standard push-pull legs split with a strong focus on progressive overload and less volume. You can get like a free template of the Google Sheet in my channel description. Here's the calorie amount of macronutrients for the gym tryouts like me. And of course, 4,600 calories is going to be a lot for most people. So, just adjust the diet according to your calorie needs. If you don't know how many calories you need to eat, then search calorie maintenance calculator online, fill out the form, and then eat 300 to 500 calories above that to be in a calorie surplus. And being in a calorie surplus is super important for hormones, as it gives your body that extra energy to produce hormones. If you're doing the opposite and being in a calorie deficit, your testosterone levels will crash due to cortisol and other survival hormones. Of course, it's kind of like a bro science explanation, but there is data backing this up. Keep in mind, if you want the best results, it's good to focus on organic grass-fed meat that is not packaged in plastic, because those things will decrease your androgens. Here's some more things to avoid. First up, we got sugar. Even stuff like fruit sugar can be bad because it increases your insulin production, which in turn decreases your testosterone. But when you eat fruit, at least you get some good micronutrients. Try to avoid sugar because it's super unhealthy for hormones. You do of course need some sugar to power your muscles and etc, but you can also just use carbs. Anyway, we got alcohol, pretty obvious. Then we got smoking, processed food, and seed oils. And even certain plants are high in phytoestrogen. What phytoestrogen does is kind of mimics your estrogen hormones, and then your body has a higher estrogen level, which nerves your testosterone. So what I do personally, I just Google the plant name or vegetable or fruit or whatever, and then I put phytoestrogenic after, and this way you can see if it's messing with your hormones. And lastly, we got dairy products, stuff like milk, yogurt, etc. Those things are filled with female hormones. You're literally drinking stuff made for children coming from a female. It's filled with hormones. It doesn't get much more beta than eating dairy products. In conclusion, you should eat everything you'd imagine a strong primitive man would eat. Would a masculine man eat a fat cake? Fuck no. Would a masculine man eat a big red beef? Fuck yes. Of course, it goes without saying I'm not a personal trainer or a nutritionist, so if you find points I've missed, feel free to leave a comment. I'm gonna pin it so everyone can read it and we can help out a bunch of people. Anyway, let's get on with the video. If you're in pre-puberty or still in puberty, you need to bulk. Bulk so much that you get just a little fat, because puberty requires a lot of energy, so your body will launch puberty sooner, and it's gonna have an easier time getting through puberty if you're a solid fat storage. One of my friends who's now 16 got his 100 kg bench at age 15 and has a full beard. And he's not Middle Eastern, he just started working out very early and is very good socially and had sufficient fat storage to get through puberty. You might think, well, doesn't fat convert testosterone into estradiol, which is estrogen? And yes, you're right, you want to lose the fat again right after puberty, but during puberty it's actually nice to have some extra fat to get through puberty easily. In the long term, you're actually going to look better, because if you're very developed, you're just going to be more attractive. So these are the fundamentals. You want a diet that provides you with the right type of nutrition in order to produce a lot of hormones. But how do you tell your body to make a shitload of testosterone? The answer is simple but difficult. Challenge. If increasing your male hormones right now is a big priority, you need to start doing masculine shit, turning you into an alpha male. And this sounds corny as fuck, but it's true. It's kind of simple biology. The higher up you are in this social hierarchy, the more androgen your body will produce. Our society is kind of like the animal kingdom. The alpha male gorilla sleeps with all the women because he's high up in the social hierarchy. And the only way to climb the social hierarchy is through discomfort and experience. Discomfort being willing to do difficult stuff like martial arts, speaking to women, and working hard. You can't fake your way to the top of the social hierarchy by being arrogant. You have to back it up with experience. And the only way to get experience is through a lot of experiences. I know, pretty mind-blowing. Anyway, here's the autistic step-by-step plan. Step 0, eat an androgenic diet. Step 1, get a job and save up $1,000 to $5,000, which is pretty achievable in most Western countries. Step 2, go down the looks maxing rabbit hole and spend the money looks maxing. Step 3, be very social and get your social skills up, and then get some good friends. Step 4, talk to loads of women and do the business. Step 5, do masculine activities like martial arts, gym, fight people bigger than you, etc, etc. And then step 6, destroy every living man. Beat all of them and prove you're number 1. If you do this, your body will provide you with all the testosterone you deserve. One of my best friends have done all of the steps above, and you can see he absolutely mocks everyone. Again, proving that hormones are one of the best things you can do to optimize your looks. And just by seeing a lot of discomfort and being very stressed out and getting some good experience, you'll get stronger and better looking than everyone around you. So if you actually want a shitload of androgens and testosterone, then you probably already know what to do. This is pretty much male hormones simplified. I don't support LGBTQ and all that, but they're actually kind of right when they say gender is a spectrum. For example, look at this graph I made. On the far right, you have the ultimate masculine man, and on the far left, you have the ultimate feminine woman. Let's be honest, you're probably closer to the middle than you are to one of the extremes, because you're simply wasting your life and not doing discomforting activities. In the beginning, discomforting activities will be extremely hard to force yourself to do, so your first step should be looks maxing, so you're more comfortable in these situations. If you look like this, you'd be a lot more comfortable approaching a girl as opposed to looking like this. And like step 3 says, get some good friends around you. Friends that pushes you to become better and forces you to speak to women. This is the second last chapter of hormones. After that, we're gonna get into clothing and skincare and stuff like that. They're gonna be very short because the solution is just so simple. Anyway, I want to remind you that a lot of people have already clicked off the video due to weak attention span, which is fine. This channel is only for elite people anyway, and by you just sticking around and learning, you're already getting ahead of all the people that left. Think about that. You're already above the 20% of people that just left, which means you only have 80% of the social hierarchy left to conquer. I want to remind you, optimizing hormones is somewhat the center of self-improvement. When you think about it, testosterone levels are kind of just proof of you being the best competitor. If you have high testosterone levels, that means you're number 1 in the male group. You're the best competitor. I'll speed through this chapter as it's pretty boring but extremely valuable. So these are the things you need to avoid in order to get even higher testosterone. First up, we got EMFs. EMFs is radiation coming from every form of electronic having numerous health issues. EMFs could literally decrease your testosterone from up to 50% or more. The solution is super simple. Get rid of your AirPods and wireless headphones. They destroy a big part of your endocrine system. Put your phone in airplane mode every time it's in your pocket, and never have your laptop on your lap as it saps your balls. You're quite literally sapping your balls, responsible for 90% of the testosterone production, and your brain, where a big part of the endocrine system, the system that produces your hormones, is located. This is something the big tech companies don't really want you to know about, because it would reduce their revenue quite a lot if you didn't buy as many electronics, which is why the narrative is EMFs are safe, don't worry about it. This is a lie built on absolute revenue. So again, minimize EMFs and you could quite literally double your testosterone. Let me repeat that. You could quite literally double your testosterone by just getting rid of your music addiction and having better habits when using your electronics. Anyway, next thing, tap water. Millions of females take birth control pills, which is just filled up with estradiol and progesterone, which are estrogens if you remember. Then they pee that shit out into the water, which doesn't get filtered for hormones, and then millions of men drink literal estradiol and progesterone, causing infertility, acne, cancer, and less masculine men. Think about that for a second. You're taking female steroids every time you drink tap water. The solution is to buy a reverse osmosis water filter. They're kind of expensive and they have to be switched out every now and again, but drinking tap water quite literally causes infertility. Imagine not being able to get a family because you were too broke to buy a water filter. Another thing you need to worry about is plastic. Pretty much everything is plastic. Your polyester clothes, water bottles, your computer keyboard, pretty much everything, like absolutely everything is plastic. Think about how much stuff you touch which is plastic, which then seeps into your skin and then your blood and then causes a lot of hormone disruption. Personally, I just threw out all my polyester clothes. If you're in doubt if it's made of polyester or not, you can go and check the washing label and you can see what kind of material it's made of. The reason why polyester clothes is like a big deal is because polyester is plastic. So when you wear clothes for multiple hours a day and sweat in it, which is literally made of plastic, your entire skin is covered in plastic, and plastic is so bad for your testosterone. Throw out all your polyester clothes, or like sell it or do something, and then you need to minimize touching plastic and eating plastic. You probably don't eat plastic, but you get the point. This is the last and final chapter of hormones, but this chapter alone could quite literally double your testosterone. The first thing you need to take is To QUADRUPLE, which could increase your testosterone by 40%, at least it did for this guy. The next one is Fiducia equitis. This one could increase your testosterone by 37% according to studies on the internet. And the most famous one, ashwagandha, this one could increase your testosterone by 15% by lowering your stress. Here's the recommended amount so you know what to buy and how much to take daily. I recommend getting into supplements when you have done the fundamentals right. If your diet is shit and you still act like a beta, then there's no guarantee that these supplements would have as strong as an effect. In conclusion, I believe if you follow all the steps mentioned, you could easily quadruple your testosterone level. And personally, I'm in the process of testing it out. I've just taken a testosterone test to see what my starting point is, and then I'm going to incorporate all the steps mentioned and then take another testosterone test to see how much my testosterone has increased and make a video about it. You need to become a man because the world needs strong masculine men more than ever before. You seriously don't have time to mess around anymore. You know, some people are working very hard to enslave everyone else, and if we only have weak men, their plan is going to succeed. If you haven't subscribed yet, it's time for you to join the army. I need you on my team. Alright, next section, how to get rid of acne for good. Everyone gets it wrong because they're lazy men priding themselves on being disciplined while not even being able to stick to simple gym schedule despite going to the gym for years. Yes, this is targeted at you, you lazy fuck. Most men think the answer is products without even knowing what causes acne. No one Googles the ingredients on the back of the bottle because they're naive and lazy. Everyone can Google paraben preservative effect on male hormones and find out it decreases testosterone production, or salicylic acid endocrine disruptor testosterone, and find out it nerves androgenic hormones by quite some. Also, be honest with me, you don't feel like a strong primitive man standing in front of the mirror applying your small creams and mixtures. You feel like a bitch, and the product is turning you into one, quite literally. Hormones are what transgender people take in order to switch gender. It pisses me off. You see every single YouTuber falling for the skincare industry. They were all able to Google the ingredients, but every single one didn't. And please stop listening to these dermatologists just trying to sell you products. Enough complaining, let me give you the solution. Acne is caused by excess sebum oil production. But why does this happen, you might ask? And the answer is hormone imbalance. When you're in your teens, your androgenic hormones explode, which is a good thing. But something bad is also going on. Your androgenic hormones are getting attacked from a bunch of external sources like I mentioned in chapter 3. It's like a constant war of your body trying to turn you into a strong, mature man, and your body getting attacked by basically everything in modern times. I think your skin is showing that war happening in real time. As long as your body is producing androgens at large scales and getting nerfed by external sources, you will have acne. I tested out the theory myself and I did a 3-day fast, which is the fastest way to lower your sex hormones. When you fast, your body spikes your cortisol, the stress hormone, but cortisol binds to the same receptor as testosterone, blocking the effects of testosterone, which is how fasting for a few days can reduce testosterone by a lot. My acne got reduced by quite a lot, as you can see by the pictures. I'm not telling you to fast, it stunts your puberty a ton and it's unhealthy unless you have a ton of excess fat, but it's proving my point. I forced my body to stop producing testosterone to pause the war between the natural hormones and the unnatural hormones coming from the outside. But instead of stopping our natural hormone production, let's find a way to stop external hormones from entering our body. There are probably a few of you guys who have already started to eat healthy and do all the things you were supposed to do in order to get clear skin, but still have acne. Your acne could easily be caused by hormone imbalance, or the hormone war, as I like to call it. So fix this stuff in chapter 3 to get a higher testosterone and better skin. You should probably also do some extra research on gut health. Your hair is pretty simple as well. You just need to look thick and healthy. Shampoo kills everything. Personally, I haven't used shampoo in probably 2 years now, and your hair will be absolutely fine, if not look better. Keep in mind, your hair will look greasy for 2 weeks while your body is restoring its natural oils. results, but after that period, your hair will look amazing. Just cut out all the other products as well. It's a big scam. Conditioner and all the other things, 99% of them are super unhealthy for you. And the only reason why you think you need them is because your parents probably fell for the marketing and used the products on you while you grew up. Get rid of all the products and your hair will look amazing within a few weeks. The only thing you need is sea salt spray. And you can make this yourself or just hop in the ocean every morning if that's a possibility. The mixture is just 40% salt bought at the supermarket, 60% hot water. Shake it a bunch and you have cheap homemade sea salt spray. Remember, you have to put it in a spray bottle. They cost like $2 at the supermarket, or another product like a cleaning product or something that has spray function. You can empty it and then make homemade sea salt spray in it. You can go crazy with this in your hair and it just adds a bunch of volume and gives you a more wavy look. The next thing you need to do is choose a haircut. I've tried out a bunch of haircuts myself and the one that looks the best is a forward facing messy fringe. You can achieve this by spraying a shitload of sea salt water and then just forming the haircut with your hands. If you need a stronger hold for, special occasions, you can use hairspray, but that shit is unhealthy, so don't make it a part of your daily use. If you don't want to do a messy fringe, then you can hop on Pinterest and get a bunch of inspiration. You can just search old money haircut or street haircut or trendy haircuts men, and then the name is usually in the description of the image. Everything I've mentioned in this video are the big ones responsible for 90% of your glow up. Again, be high up in the social hierarchy to have high testosterone. Therefore, it's crucial and your duty as a man to just spend 1 week deep diving the look smashing rabbit hole and implementing the steps. But if you want an artistic and in-depth guide, you can go watch this video. Taking action can easily give you 1 to 4 points in your attraction. Not look smashing could quite literally be the difference between you getting a feminine wife and a loving family, or ending life as a virgin, not passing on your genetic legacy. Thanks for watching this long-ass guide. I hope for your own sake you take action on everything mentioned. If you have trouble remembering everything, remember, first link in the description is going to be the PowerPoint, so you can just scroll through the slides and your memory should be refreshed pretty easily. Thank you, bro.